Thank you for gearing up the annuity stuff. And Michael, Hannah, I tell you, you're incredible. You know, what you kind of share the information, because what they share with you today is kind of geared right into what I'm about to talk about. Now, they all explain to you what the annuity is, you know, why you need it, why you need lifetime income, which is very important. However, Shirley is going to take you to the next level. Because a lot of you, on my team included, the first thing they do, they call me is like, Shirley, what carriers do we write the annuity with? Michael Harden, Dave Gilmore, you around? What are you worth? And in addition to that, where's Matt? At Columbus, Jonah. Lena and I can have a little persuasion on the annuity. One of the things with the annuity and things like that, when you guys do this, is I want to show you guys this, okay? Writing annuity, first of all, there are different kinds, okay? But as you go out there, you're going to have people say, well, I have an annuity. Well, you have to understand, basic, fundamental, fixed annuity. What's a fixed annuity? Simple, 1%, 2%, 3% guarantee. Easy to do, right? Then you've got the variable annuities, where basically, in those cases, you can have security license to make money, right, in the market. The market loses, you go down with it. Then you've got other things called immediate annuities, where people say, hey, I want to get money right away. Those are immediate distribution of a promise of some kind of guarantee. Then you've got the new breed of fixed index annuities, which is what I'm going to focus a lot on today. Why is the fastest growing in the marketplace? And why was it years and years ago when I first started talking about it and selling about it, in a room with 100 people, when I asked, have you ever heard of fixed index annuity, 2 hands were raised up. Time has changed. Then last, of course, you get the kind of deferred annuities, the kind that promise you a guarantee, regular payment. Similar like Social Security, or if you win the lottery, those kind of things. Okay? Now, with that being said, the very first thing when someone asks me is that, okay, who do we write with? And what product do I give my clients that? You can't give the client a recommendation until you ask them, what in the heck do they want? Okay? But before I start getting to this, I'm going to tell you a true story. And I want to talk about the myth out there that financial advisor and investment advisor go head to head with me every single day. The first thing is, the myth about the annuities was that you don't make any money. Wrong. You know index performance that can do that. The second thing what they'll do is that the financial advisors tell you that those annuities, there are fees. Wrong. It depends. You want fees, you have no fees, right? You've got carrier out there that got fees and no fees. Then the myth was that it's too complicated. I asked a wealth manager, one of the top in New York City, one of the biggest firm out there. I personally called the top guy. Got the gatekeeper. They said, why do you want to speak to him? I said, I'm writing a book, and I want to get his thought on this. Yes, my book, FIA ASAP, will come out the first quarter of March. That's going to hit the bookshelf. So I asked you, you're a wealth management firm, why aren't you offering fixed index annuity? And I'm just curious. Because you're about clients, right? You're supposed to take care of clients. Why aren't you offering it? He said, well, I said, be candid with me. He said, well, there's a couple reasons. Number one, I think they're a little bit complicated. I said complicated. As in, market makes money, you make, market lose it, the client keeps the money. That's complicated. Fees, regulator, and everything else. But the financial industry is scaring of us right now, guys. More and more financial firms are offering the fixed index annuity. You need to know you're at the right place. The right place, the right time, and the right solution for a client. So when my client comes to me, one of the first things I looked at the client and said, okay, look, let's talk about money. How young are you? First thing I ask. Well, I'm 50, I'm 40, I'm 60, I'm 65, 70. I had a client came to me and she said to me, she said, Ms. Lou, I'm 65 years old. Please don't lose my money. And this was 10 years ago, ladies and gentlemen. I wrote the annuity at that time and I said, so you need income? She said, I'm getting a little Social Security, but I don't think that's enough to live. I said, how much more do you need? She said, I don't know, I don't need probably an additional $17,000, and on top of my Social Security, because I'm moving down to Florida to live. I said to her at that time, if that's the case, your time horizon, you need the money in a couple of years. You know what I did, guys? She gave me 160 grand. And the day I did her policy, I thought the next couple of months, she was gonna move in with me. Because she was like, oh, is it safe? What the money? I said, no, I said, just give me some time to build this thing. I'm not gonna lie to you. I gave her a product called Guaranteed Lifetime Income. Yeah, there are fees, 1%. But at that point in time, the annuity income account value was growing at 8%. So I asked my client, is it worth it? 8% compounded, and you pay 1%. I know you guys end up fees, I get it. But it was important to this client to see what the future looked like. Do you know after 5 years, she gave me 160K, she took out 120 grand from her IRA account. Do the math. 160 minus 120, how much do you have left as a client? $40,000. I will tell you this, you will see her testimonial on my next video. She's currently getting a check, $18,000 a year right now until the day she died. I don't know about you guys, I love those lifetime income. When there's a place, when there's a right time, it is the greatest product. I don't have one, I have hundreds of clients that I will represent and tell you that. Now, there are clients that 50, 55 years old. I have a client right now that I just did recently. 50-some years old, doesn't need the money yet. I wouldn't put him in lifetime income because it's not needed yet, you understand? It is my client that needed potential growth, so you want to put him into the right product that has growth. Now, once that happens, you know what I'm going to do? Let him grow, because the minute that thing grows, I'm going to start an account that has lifetime income. Maybe I'll transition to a different company or the same company, whatever. It depends at that time. You understand? When a client, I get so excited when I talk about when a client said, Shirley, if I give you $100,000 here, what can you do? Guys, if you're selling IUL and all that today, you don't put IRA and annuity and all that stuff into you're missing out. And here's the thing, dream destination, all these other points, it is one of the most incredible opportunity. And by the way, time plays no favorite. Every one of you dress the same way, you put your shirt, your clothes in the same way, you wear the same thing, it's just one choose to execute, one choose not to. And you know what? You can come in from nowhere out of nowhere. Because overnight, if I must tell you, just this week, I got funded over $1 million worth of roll registered in 1 week. Funded, got paid. And within the next 30 to 60 days, I'll have $3 more million. That's $4 million roll, guys. I tell you that because the opportunities are there. It doesn't matter. If you can choose to go back and say, you know what, let me go back to all my IUL clients and find out, hey, by the way, I forgot to tell you, I've got another service I want to expand and add to it. I need to help you, show you what we have. So time horizons, so my clients, the risk tolerance, you know? You like playing high or low? What's your risk? Time horizon. If my client tells me that I want money right away, then I can execute something right away. If the client says I need 4 or 5 years, then you put it right. You have so many carriers. Now, don't guy asking me which carrier do I write with. I will be honest with you. I write with every single carrier that we do business with. Do you know why I do that? It's because of my client's needs. All the carrier, you need to go in. Go back to all the carrier. Look at what they have in their product. Learn it, you guys. You don't need to apply anybody else to do it. The carrier's got their own training you can do. And there's nothing more than, I don't know how to write one, I don't know how to do an application. Daggone it, pull up your ID, your login ID, pretend you're doing an app. Just don't push the button. and you can practice it all day long. Why don't they practice it? So you understand, you have to take initiative doing that. Your upline sideline cannot always take that burden. You have to take that extra step. Now, there are a client that says to me, Shirley Lou, I need money immediately as soon as I give you my 401k. So that means they need immediate money, right? Income. Which means the carrier we have, some of them can give you income immediately. Some of them, if you're doing lifetime income, you can't touch it until after a year. So if you go to each of the product, it will tell you, this one you can get immediately, this one you can't. Sometimes I talk to a client, the client said, I want money right away, then I have to switch. And sometimes I can wait, and so you play into those factors, in each of the carriers. Market protection, we all know that. Every single fixed index annuity that we have that gives that. Flexibility, withdrawal. My God, we have so many carriers come out with some incredible, phenomenal products. The product that we have today can't be beat in the industry. It's because why? Ron manages to do a very, very good job of finding the best of the best to bring to the table for us. So we need to take advantage of it. Flexibility. Withdrawal. Remember I said about fees, no fees, surrender and all that stuff? I showed my client, you have option. Here it is. What do you want? Because it's important. It's important to me. Why am I, in some cases, people say, why do you like lifetime income? It's because if my client has 100,000, and if I do a straight withdrawal in 10 years, they'll be out of the money, and if I do the lifetime income, I'll have it forever. That client will remember me forever. Now, growth is important, protection is important. What do clients want you to do? How soon I need money? I talked about that, right? Guaranteed income, surrender charge, and all that. And there's some of them, if they retire in 3 to 5 years, then do a 3 year, 5 years. Now let's talk about surrender charge for a minute. It drives me bonkers when my team tells me all the time that, oh, it's got a surrender charge. I said, okay, let's talk about surrender charge. If you just ask Shirley Lou to create a daggone account for you to have money growing, guaranteed, and I give you this thing and I need some time to build it up, and you're going to get rid of the account, that means you're giving me money and throw it out, take it out. Then I'm not the right choice. You don't give me time horizon to do that. And by the way, if you're getting the guaranteed lifetime income and all this other stuff, if you cancel it, do you get lifetime income? No. So why does that play? You need to shut those down about the surrender stuff. You understand? And by the way, some of our carrier, I did an illustration. Even though may have a 10-year surrender charge, some of the surrender charge we got, if a client happens and we perform out of 3 years, 1 year is bad, 1 year is good, did your client can walk away with more money than they gave me, even with a daggone surrender charge. So bring it on. Because you guys have to go head to head of what you've got on that stuff. Now, personal goal is always ask the client, when do you want to retire? I don't know, maybe 60, 65. You have to draw the picture of retirement for them, what it looks like. So I said to them, you know what, I'm going to make your dreams come true. If you're honest enough to tell me what you want, then I can give you the roadmap and show you how to get there. but you have to be honest with me. If you can't tell me the truth, then I can't help you. So my client said, okay, Shirley, I'm 65, when I retire, I wanna get money at 68, and I said, how much income do you need? I would love to get, one of my clients, actually yesterday, says to me, she wants $10,000 a month, from 68 to 100 years old. You want $120,000 a year from Shirley Liu to make sure you have it. She goes, yeah. That's okay. I can make it happen based on the condition which you tell me. So what we did was 120K, that was the goal. The very first thing I do is you look at the first question you ask them is the Social Security. How much are you getting? Oh, I'm getting $3,000 a month. 3 times 12 is what? 36,000, right? So now I've got 120 minus 36. You see how I'm doing the math? I'm looking what my shortfall is, how I can find the rest. And that's okay, so tell me more. What do you have? Do you have a pension? Your husband, family, whatever. So they tell me and all that. So at the end of it, I said, wow, okay. So at the end, I said, well, it looks like you're short of $30,000. And I said, here's $1 million question. How much money are you giving me? She's giving me about $500,000. She said, I got $500,000. Do you know that $500,000, I met her goal. Not only I met her goal, I exceeded her goal. But you see, and you show the guy here, you're getting this, and this. And by the way, the other myth about annuities and IRAs is that sometimes they tell your client, you die, your family don't get the money. You know why that happens? Those are old traditional annuity, when you annuitize the daggone thing. If you have 200,000 and you took 30,000 out, did you know the old annuity? Yes, the insurance company keeps the money. That's why it got the bad rap, because of that. So people are still thinking of the old. And also, I just did a quote for my client. I moved his money over to an IRA. It was $700,000. He called me, oh, no, I want to hold off on doing it. I goes, why? He said, because I've heard it's an annuity or bad. And I said, an IRA is not bad? He goes, yeah, IRA not bad, but annuity is bad. You guys know IRA and annuity are one and the same. So I said, okay. So I have to explain to them that, hey, annuity is kind of type of payment you would get and stuff like that in the future, but IRA and annuities one interchangeably almost the same. And that was when he said, okay. Thank you, Michael Harding, on that one. So you have to explain what the objections are to overcome it. Okay? Focus, income. Now, so I asked my client, you want income? Yeah. You want both? Yeah. I want both. So what do you give them? Oh! Did you guys know that? Did you guys know the power you guys have in your possession? On all the different stuff? It's about you planning to stay focused. Look, focus, one company really good about a couple of the stuff, so that you'll be able to go out there and talk intelligently of giving the right things for your client. Okay? Again, find out everything they have, current saving, checking, all that. How much you need to set aside annually. Now this is what happened. So one time when a client comes in, husband and wife, they come in empty-handed. Wouldn't give me their financial matter and all this stuff. You guys, you have to tell them what you're worth. Don't spend time with people that don't think you're worth anything. You know what I say to them, anyway, husband and wife? I put my pen down. I said, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I appreciate you coming in here. What was the reason why you came in here? Well, I've heard you're going to help me with financial. I said, I understand. So I'm here to help you, but think of me like a money doctor. If you're sick and you're going to go to a doctor, what do you tell the doctor? Oh, I can't sleep, I have headache, I have fever, I have this and this and that. You're giving the doctor the right symptom, why? So they can give you the right diagnosis and the right solution. You come to me for money advice and you're going to say, guess? It's like going to the doctor, guess where I'm sick? I mean, think about it, guys. It doesn't make sense. And I said, so if you're honest to want to do business with me, then be honest with me. I will help you to the end of the earth. But until you make that determination. The other thing, some of you guys have upline, sideline, and folks that are helping you go out and teach. Guys, can I ask you to do one favor for your upline, please? Build them up. Oh my God, I have Lena. She is an awesome leader, and I tell you, she flies and she does walks of water, fly in the sky. She knows the financial stuff. You need to promote the trainer who's training with you. Mm-hmm. You know what? Please, make sure you book in the appointment and keep the appointment because she is so busy. She doesn't have time. I've asked her to allocate this little hour that she has to serve for you. That makes them feel important, and that way they'll hold it. Hey, you can't make the appointment, you gotta do this. There's nothing when I go out there like, oh, do you want to do that? No, nothing, and so they just want to meet with you. Oh my God. My level of patience can go up a little bit because you didn't give a regard and a respect of your leader, who it is that's doing the stuff. You understand? Look, walk away from that client day one if you have to. Don't waste your time. Same thing with your demo. Go back. Get people to get with you. The one that's not, get them off the shoulder. Move on. You're like in the ocean right now. You've got a vest, and you're trying to have up your team, teaching your team, and they're hanging on to you on this middle of the ocean, and you've got this one life vest, and you're trying to, okay, hang on to me for now, I'm gonna teach you. They gotta start learning, because if they don't, all you're gonna drown. You understand? You gotta learn and teach them how to do it, how to fly, and how to be able to swim. The serious player will always show up. The one that's not, recognized not. I tell my team now, you don't get to work with Shirley Lou unless you show me that you're serious. You can work with somebody else. Those days are gone. Before we use a bacon fee guide, you have to put your foot down at this point in time. We have so much growth, so much demand going on right now. Or ask your client, when it comes to these kind of things, this principle and important things for you. You care? Look at the bottom here. How to leverage FIA to create IUL. I used to go into a family and used to write one account. I'm not doing that anymore. I go into a family, I write 4 to 5 accounts. Now, let's say someone has a 401k, IRA, they have some. You know we're the lowest tax bracket right now, right guys? And sooner or later Uncle Sam's gonna go find them. And when taxes stay the same, it's gonna go higher. What if someone has, let's say, a $300,000 401k, and you take maybe 5% of it? What's 5% of 300k? 15,000? $15,000. Have any of you guys taken $15,000, put it into an IUL to fund it? Think about it, guys. The client's gonna pay taxes anyway, right? Tell them, take that little bit, 5%, 15,000, open an IUL. You still got 200 and some $1,000, right? 85,000 that can do very well in an annuity to kind of do that. Okay, so you may say, well, where do I get the money to fund the next year? I know, I can read your brain. So you have a choice at that time, right? One, you can have other savings, stuff like that, you can fund it, or two, fine, do your 5-10%. And if you get an account that's making 5% return, 7% return, or 8%, whatever it is, right? Is that a not bad deal? Why do you want to do that? I want to do that because I just took $15,000 from a daggone 401k, convert that into an IRA, and I took a $15,000, created an IUL that made me another $250,000 IUL, $500,000, depends on the age. So if my client died, they get the $285,000 plus the $500,000 IUL. You just created almost $800,000 of wealth creation by taking a daggone $15,000. How are you going to do You can do a withdrawal. It doesn't matter. The fact is that the client's gonna have that taxes that's coming and hit their way anyway. And then now I can go in from a strategy standpoint. I tell my client, I say, hey, you know what, it's great, you got retirement, you got all these things, but guess what? Long-term care is coming. You know that $300,000 you have in that 401k? Are you planning to use that $300,000 to pay for your long-term care? No. You need it though? So how about this? Why, your 300k is intended for what, for your retirement? Well, yeah. Then what's gonna pay for your long-term care? How have I created something for long-term care? Life insurance, legacy, living benefit. I will tell you this, I know it works because I had a client barely had $60,000 in her 401k. I did a rollover on that. She needed a life insurance, $250,000. I was able to take $4,000, $5,000 from that IRA every year, fund the IUL. 10 years later, she get back, she go, oh, I got all this money in my IUL and my annuity's still there. That is cool. That is what you're doing. You can understand you have the power in here that most other financial firms do not have. Where you can show the client this room, and you have this, I can do this. Oh, how about this? You want to take a little bit more money from here? You got other kids, grandkids, all that? Take a bunch of money here, open 4 or 5 more accounts for all the grandchildren, leave a legacy. Oh, did I tell you one thing? Have you anything heard called gift? Father, a mother, if they have a child, they can do up to what, $17,000 gift. Imagine, you've got someone that have 2 or 3 kids and they're making a lot of money and they're taxed to the IRS. Give $10,000, open an IUL, I don't know, open an IRA, I don't care what you do. But it's a gift. It's a gift I give to my kids. Because it's a gift, can that go on your tax return? Yes. How cool is that? I've just reduced my tax burden. At the same time, I've just created another legacy. Incredible legacy to leave. For each kid, you can do up to $17,000. Husband and wife, then you can give $30-something thousand. And someone yesterday did the training, what, you can do up to like $13 million, something like that? But we don't utilize that. Why? It's because we don't know. So the IUL leverage using the fixed index annuity is pretty cool. I can liquidate some of it and pay for it, or I can create a stream of income and pay for it. And if they die, does the family still get the money? Absolutely. And if they're making growth on the account where you maybe, let's say it's not lifetime income, but let's say it's a regular investment where it has opportunity for growth. Come on, guys, $300,000, you can take up to 10%, that's $30,000 a year. That's a pretty big premium into an account that you can create. I can then take that $30,000 and buy 10 accounts. But when you see how you're just taking that money and you're just reshuffling it in the right direction, you're just knowing where to do it and when to do it and how to do it. That's all. And again, it's about you strategizing, showing your clients these kind of things. Now, we talked earlier, money. When do I can take money? Laid off job, we already know that, right? You laid off, you move the money immediately. 401k, IRA, 457 plan. Now, if you're still employed, inside of 401k and other stuff, if you're as long as you're 59 and a half, you can roll the money out. Now, if the client says to you, I don't know if I can catch you or not, pick up the phone call. Say, hey, I want to take this money and roll it out, can I do it? So you gotta determine the type of accounts you're gonna do over or transfer, right? You make that determination, look at the needs, and you move it to the right carrier, okay? I gave you this area, after you choose it, you choose the right period, the right type of account, and you determine eligibility in the proposal. When you send the client the proposal, you're gonna give them, hey, this account, you're getting this, and this. You tell them the good, the bad, and the ugly. If there are fees, you tell them there are no fees, you say that account has no fees. And then you want to help the client with the application. Now, you're gonna say to the client, look, I have to get you through suitability. Not everybody can have this. You have to be approved first. Well, clients are funny, guys. When you tell them that you are not going to be approved, let's hope and pray. Then they want it, they really want it. Like, oh, can you help me do whatever it is to do? You know, the other thing is that rollover and things like that, to make it the fastest moving, is when you talk to a client and say, hey, look, let's make a deal. I'm gonna submit the application today with you and I to see if I can get you approved. But you and I are gonna make a phone call right now. We're gonna make a phone call, you know, to who? To their current employer or their current IRA or 401k. You're gonna call them and you're gonna say, hey, by the way, verify who you are first and allow for me to take over as a representative to talk. Did you guys know under the Financial Investment Board, if I was taking money from Merrill Lynch, Edward Jones, Morgan Stanley, and I'm calling them and trying to move that money, whatever reps on there, the minute I mention I am the new financial person, they cannot on the phone with the client at that time persuade the client not to do business with me? Did you guys know that? They cannot. They have to stop and just listen, do exactly what I say. That's so cool. So now, so you got the client on the phone with the carrier, and you say, hey, I'm getting ready to move this money, we need your help. How much is in the account right now? Is there surrender charge? And by the way, will you accept third-party paperwork? Or is there special paperwork from your end that we have to complete? They'll either tell you, no, all you gotta do when you transfer, you just gotta pick up the phone and we can do it internally. Oh, this other one, the client can do online. Oh, this other one, they'll tell you the step. And then I push to the max. Great, so from the time you get the paperwork, how soon will you cut the check? Oh, well, the check cuts about 7 days. Is that 7 working days? You guys see that? Because there's nothing more frustrating when I'm sitting here like seeing some of my people, yeah, we did the rollover, you know, and I've been waiting. I said, what, waiting till the cow come home? No one has called the client, the client didn't call the company, and they're all sitting there like waiting. By the way, that's the same thing with IUL. Oh, we're waiting on what? Oh, medical, what medical? APS, attendant position statement. Who ordered it? We think the insurance company did. How do you know that? Well, aren't they supposed to? Are you sure? Did you call? You didn't? I have fun with my people. I said, I'll make a bet with you right now. I wouldn't call that doctor. Because I don't call that doctor. I said, hey, we've been waiting this for a month now for you to complete, doctor, the APS. When did you get it complete and done? And I said, you know what the answer's gonna be? What do you think the answer's gonna be? The doctor goes, what APS? We didn't get anything. Ugh. That's when my blood boils again. Guys, as an agent for clients, you have to be proactive, please. You want these things done, proactive. Answer every phone call, return every text, answer every email. It pisses me off to the max when my team don't call me back on text, email, and all that. Please don't pop up. I don't care how busy you are. I don't care how busy you are. It's a courtesy call. Be saying, hey, I'm so sorry, I'm in a meeting. Or I'm on vacation, whatever. You expect that from me. Why can't you give me the same courtesy?
That's right.
Right? It's common sense of doing business, guys. That's what I'm saying. So you ask them, you push, because now I know in the notes, on this day, I do this, and I'm gonna follow up in 7 days to see if the money's been transferred or not. You have to run a tight ship for your business. Same thing with IUO, do follow up, all these kind of things, you guys. Do what you're supposed to do on that. We already talked about this, I'm not gonna beat the dead horse, flexibility, tax advantages. Now, interesting, well, so I had a client, and he had a 401k years back, and he was gonna get income and all that, and then I said to him, and I said, oh, you got a 401k, I'm moving it over. And he says to me, I've heard about Roth. I said, yeah, what about it? He goes, I like it to be a Roth. I said, well, you got 200K, your uncle's gonna want his money, but I can make your dreams come true. You want the 200K to become a Roth? He goes, yeah. Okay. So, what we did was I said, so the IRS is gonna come to you and say they want the money now. Way back, guys. See, there's a time and place for everything. I know some people don't like bonuses. Surely do, there are time for it. They are, again, the client situation. So here's what I did. I took $200,000 and I go, you know you have to pay taxes on that. So got on the phone with this accountant. The accountant said, based on your income, if you convert to $200,000, you have to pay $17,000 in taxes. So I looked at him, I go, you have $17,000 lying around? He goes, yeah, I got a mutual fund. And I said, so tell me, why do they want this tax-free? He said, so I can get income from this thing tax-free forever. I said, yeah, that's a good idea. Rather than paying 30%, right? He pays Uncle Sam $17,000 now. He's free and clear. He doesn't owe his uncle another dime and all the money in it. So what we did, we liquidated his mutual fund, $17,000, paid the tax on that. So we moved his money over, and I said, I'm so sorry that you have to spend $17,000. But can we make it up for you with a 10% bonus? 10% of $200,000 is what, guys? $20,000. How much money did I took from his mutual fund? And I gave him back how much? Is that a bad thing? He's getting income right now from me, tax-free, forever. And he said, just the money that I saved, tax alone on this thing, Shirley Lou, is incredible. Remember, guys, it's about the client, it's about the product and all that, okay? Yeah, there are times and also, I do agree with Gary in some respect that some bonuses are very dangerous, because I know my competitor. I read up on my competitor. There's some competitor out there, they would go in and they say, you're gonna get gazillion-dollar bonuses, right? Guys, they're not even true bonuses and stuff. So be careful, in what it is that you're trying to get on the client from that respect. Surrender charge, I talked about that. I'm so confident in the kind of things that we do with the carrier that we have. What did they say? For every 2-3 years, 1 year the market down, right? Every 3 years expect one downturn. But even without a downturn, the stuff that we have, the surrender charge, and even when you run stuff, sometimes it's even more than what my client gives me at the end. Now, true that they don't have, the cash accumulation and the surrender. Let's say 200,000, the accumulation may be 250, and the surrender, if you give it up, maybe 245. You understand? Okay, so yeah, you got thick with it, but was it still more than what you gave me? My clients seem to be okay with that. It's about them understanding. Okay? Now, let's talk about surrender charge. Let's see worst case scenario. I did a $300,000 rollover. You can do $30,000 a year. And the client says to me, I could buy a car for $50,000. $30,000 is not enough. So sometimes someone told my client that you will be charged surrender charge on the 300K. No, guys. The surrender charge, remember the account has 10%, which is $30,000 allowable, but you need 50, take 50 minus 30, the difference is 20. So the surrender is on the 20, not on the 300. So the only $12,000. Okay? So make sure you understand that. Even worst case, you know? And then I'm gonna look at my client and say, okay, so talk to me. Surrender. What? You know, what are you doing with $300,000? Tomorrow you're gonna call me and say, I'm taking all $300,000, buy a house. Yeah, your uncle's gonna love you, 40% tax on that. Is that what you want? No. So what are the chances you're gonna take $1 million or the whole thing at the one time to spend it? You're not. And by the way, it doesn't have to be with Shirley Lou. You could be sitting there with Fidel and anybody else, and you take that money out, you're gonna get the same tax penalty. Tax is taxes. You're not gonna do that over there, so why are you forcing me to do it over here? Oh, here's another favorite. Oh, is it FDIC insured? Oh my God. I said, your current account, is it FDIC insured? No. Then why do you expect me to? Same rule. You understand? Qualified and qualified. What do we got over here? We got the same uncle. What do we like? So understand on the surrender charge. Okay? Now, I have clients that say, Shirley, I'm so confused. I don't know, do I do a withdrawal for my account? Or do I do lifetime income? What do I do? This is where you're gonna do evaluation with the clients. Okay, let's sit down and talk to see which one makes more sense for you. First, how much money you need, right? And second of all, if I do a withdrawal, it'll deplete it. If I do income, you may not get as high as a withdrawal, but at least it'll space out the payments down the road, right? So again, you're gonna have to be very careful and sitting with a client, looking at what is there needs to be to give them the right solution for that. Again, I already talked about fees. Don't go into whether they're telling you that, you know, I mean, we got a lot of companies out there that got no fees on the account, and that's still gonna have a pretty high participation rate in the account, you know, the guarantee. One thing I recommend for you guys to do is whatever you're selling to a client, have them repeat back to you. I just explained everything, so please, what did I just give you? Tell me, what did I just give you? Oh, you gave me this? They can't repeat everything, okay? So if the missing piece is why that annuity is good, you put it in, remind them again why that is the case. Okay? You're getting this, you're getting this, you're getting this, you're getting this. When client knows, they realize you won't, you know, have a lot of cancellation and stuff like that. Okay? Guys, the key things about doing these things is that you really have to identify client's priorities. You match it with the right annuity. You make sure the client understands the benefits, the trade-off from a suitability standpoint. A lot of time I have people that came to me and said, Shirley, my client got $15,000 in it. And I said, well, where's the backup money? They don't have any. Are you guys kidding me? You're gonna take $15,000, have no backup money, they're living paycheck to paycheck and all that. That's a very dangerous situation for the client in. And I know as much as sometimes some we wanna make money commission, but it's not the right thing to do. Sometimes you have to walk away from a client. Guys, sometimes I have to walk away from my life insurance too, when the clients need too deep into it. You understand? And speaking of life insurance, we have so many carriers that's got so many different accounts out there that you can pretty much do everything. You gotta understand the power in FFS that you guys have. I don't think you guys realize it, but each one of you sitting here right now has $1 million license in your hand. Do you understand? Let me repeat that. You've got $1 million license in your hand.
Yes.
And you guys are not treating like $1 million. At all. At all. Why? I want to, let me finish this up. I believe in, guys, we rise by uplifting others. I'm gonna allow a couple questions to be asked out here, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. Any questions that anyone wanna have for me? Anybody? Was that information, stuff like that today, very helpful for you guys?
Very